It appears we are almost ready to depart. It's a pity we didn't have a bit more time to spend on spellcasting. I presume you've been practicing the spells we worked on.
I have, Professor.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never seen anyone take so quickly to a second-hand wand. You'll be a force to be reckoned with when you get your own.
Thank you, Professor Fig. I appreciate you working with me all the time.
Oh, Eleazar!
George, glad my rather cryptic description of our location did not thwart your finding us.
I've apparated to more vaguely defined destinations than this. Though I confess I may have miscalculated slightly on my first try. Gave quite the fright to some theatergoers in the West End.
It's been much too long. When I received your owl, I must say I...
Best not speak here, Eleazar.
Of course. Why don't we speak en route to Hogwarts? We have a start-of-term feast and a sorting ceremony to get to.
Wonderful idea! As long as your young charge here doesn't mind me tagging along.
Not at all, sir.
After you.
Ages since I'd been to the castle. Would be good to see the old pile of rocks. Glad I caught you before you left for Scotland.
Just barely.
And who is your traveling companion?
A new student.
New?
Yes, sir. I'm starting school as a 5th year.
How extraordinary.
It is indeed. None of the faculty has ever heard of anyone being admitted to Hogwarts so late.
Nor have I.
Of course, as the other 5th years will have been honing their magical skills for 4 years now, the headmaster asked if I could get our new student up to speed a bit before the term begins.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a better mentor. Professor Fig is not only an exceptional teacher, he's also a remarkably intuitive and gifted wizard.
Mr. Osric is prone to flattery. I dare say it's one of the reasons he's risen so far at the Ministry.
Have you seen this?
I have. Opinions differ as to how great a threat Ranrock really is.
Although I've yet to convince my colleagues at the Ministry, I believe he is a significant threat. And it was your wife, Eleazar, who alerted me to his activities months ago.
Miriam? How?
She wrote to me about Ranrock before she died, wondering what the Ministry knew about his activities. Before I could respond, I received this. It was the last thing she sent me, Eleazar. It came to me via her owl, but with no correspondence. I can only assume
That she had to get rid of it quickly, to keep it safe.
presumably from Ranrock. I cannot open it. Whatever magic protects this is powerful indeed.
It looks like goblin metal. That symbol.
What's that glow?
I don't see a glow.
Nor do I.
Ooh, it's glowing.
Merlin's beard. How did you...
Wait! We do.
Oh, fuck.
Hang on!
It's a wyvern.
The key! Give me your hand! Adieu! Are you all right? You're hurt.
Perhaps a bit.
Take this. It's Wiggenweld potion. That stuff will right you in a second.
Okay. What's this flask? Let's go.
What happened?
Poor George. I can't believe he... What the hell got into that damn thing? Attacking a carriage mid-air? A typical dragon would never...
Professor? Sir, where are we?
I'm not sure. But that key you discovered was clearly a port key.
Port key?
An item enchanted to bring whoever touches it to a specific place.
I'm feeling better, sir, if you'd like to look around a bit.
I would. But stay close. We've no idea who created this port key. Or why.
Okay, so far we're playing at the highest resolution, highest settings. If it feels laggy, I'll tone it down. It should be fine, hopefully.
How far did that port key take us?
Farther from London than the carriage traveled. We're somewhere in the Scottish Highlands.
Sir, those ruins. Do you
The
think...
port key was meant to lead us there? I do. This has not been the day either of us expected. But Miriam sent that port key to George for a reason. And I believe that she, and now George, died in pursuit of whatever it was meant to lead to. If you're sure you're all right, and wouldn't mind indulging me, I'd like to have a look around.
Absolutely, sir.
Good. Let's see if we can find a path, however faded it may be. Mind your step.
Okay. First boss, I'm gonna go and check if there's option regarding FOV. So we are using the frame rate generation, obviously, but field of view, there we go. Let's see if we can increase it by 20. See if it's better or worse.
Where do you suppose you're...
Did it save? That's my question, because it doesn't look like it changed. It did. Alright, that's fine. We can work with that. Anything else we want to change? Not really. At least not yet, I don't think. So let's just keep going.
That brought us here.
A good question. Miriam spent years searching for evidence of a long-forgotten form of ancient magic.
Ancient magic?
Yes, a powerful magic wielded by a rare few that seems to have been lost to time. Hogwarts Castle was built by, and is itself a stronghold of that ancient magic. I don't know where she came into possession of the port key, but I am certain it was to do with that search. Ah, there's the path down below. This way.
But sir, Why was your wife searching for evidence of lost magic?
Miriam wanted to understand why such powerful magic disappeared from the wizarding world. Spoke of the good it could do. But magic is no different than any power. What really matters is the one who wields it.
Is that ice?
It's not cold enough here. It appears to be a sort of enchantment. Someone wanted to block this path. Let's see some of that wand work you were practicing. Focus on the center.
Okay.
Excellent!
Use your camera to select an active target. Okay. Can I lock onto people rather than just aiming at them? I prefer lock on. Yes, you can lock on. Same as in any other Souls-like game. Perfect. This is a roll.
That was a bit rougher than I'd expected. Your wand work's improving with every cast.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I love this. This is good.
Ah, up there.
Wait, let me check this path first. Funny.
We're close now. It's just ahead. Steady yourself! Reparo! Almost there!
Why would someone have built this here?
I suspect they valued their privacy. That portkey led us here for a reason. Let's have a look around for anything that seems out of place.
The minimap shows your surroundings with you in the middle. This is your current objective. Okay.
Professor, this statue...
This may have been his home.
That enchanted crystallized stone again. But what could it be blocking? What's this? Professor Fig!
How odd. Why would someone have conjured that enchanted stone here?
And how is there a room behind it?
What room? I don't see anything.
There's that glow again, like the glow on the portkey container.
Okay, interact with the magic.
What in Merlin's name? Godric's heart.
Where are we?
I don't believe it.
Oh, that was cool.
Hello?
It can't be. Just a moment. Ooh. Wait a minute. Welcome to Gringotts Wizarding Bank. Vault number 12, I presume.
Precisely.
The key?
Your wife's portkey.
Oh, yes, of course.
This way, then.
Stay close.
After you. Keep your hands inside the cart if you don't wish to lose them.
How many vaults are there in Gringotts?
Hundreds. In fact, you'll see quite a few on our way to vault number 12. As we speak, we're just beneath the main lobby. The vaults you see now are the newest.
Are private entrances to the bank common at Gringotts?
They are most uncommon. Only one with great wealth or power, or both, could have arranged for such a service. You'll want to take a breath.
A what? That waterfall washes away all enchantments. It's a security measure.
Experienced the thief's downfall before, have you?
Heard of it?
These are the lower vaults that we're passing now.
How deep are we going?
Vault number 12 was commissioned shortly after Gringotts was founded over 4 centuries ago. It resides in the deepest part of the bank. Settle in. We've quite a distance to go.
Vault number?
Vault 12. Momentous day.
On your way.
Professor, the armband that guard was wearing was glowing.
Like the glow you saw on the portkey container?
No, darker. I saw that same glow on the dragon's collar.
Yeah, what was that?
We were just wondering about that goblin back there.
He watches over the oldest section of the bank. Rare anyone goes there anymore. Here we are.
When was the last time this vault was accessed?
A goblin has been stationed at my desk for hundreds of years. In that time, no one has visited Vault 12 until today.
The chest or something, all right?
Vault 12.
Thank you for your help.
What do you suppose we should be looking for?
I'm not sure. Sir, I wonder if you
The
might...
instructions for Vault 12 indicate that I am to grant access to the holder of the key and then close the door.
Wait!
Best of luck.
Professor?
That was certainly unexpected. Let me think. There must be something here.
There's a wall.
Revelio, perhaps?
Revelio?
Yes, a revealing charm. No time like the present. Let's see what we're missing, shall we? Ready your wand and focus.
Okay, steady your wand with L and guide it along the path. Along the symbol path to learn the spell. Okay, so I do this. That's cool. Revelio!
Revelio. There! I saw something.
Move a bit closer and try again.
A door.
Well, that's a start. There's that symbol again. I don't suppose you see a way to...
I do, Professor. That symbol has the same glow as the one I saw on the port key container.
If what you can see reveals the way forward, then I dare say we are about to discover the secret of this vault. Lead the way. Lumos! This is no ordinary vault. I suspect we will need to earn our way out of here.
What do you mean, earn our way out? Do you think this is some sort of test?
I do. But to what end, I can't say. Stay close. There will be no disapparating if things go poorly. Not out of Gringotts.
This looks so good with the ray tracing. Holy fuck.
I see something up ahead.
What is it?
That glow again, but on the floor.
Lumos! What happened?
When I moved towards the glow, it suddenly seemed as if the ground was swirling about.
Are you all right?
Yes, sir, I'm fine.
You seem to have caused the floor to change.
That statue.
What statue?
I see some sort of statue, but only as a reflection in the floor.
Revelio. I presume this is what you saw reflected in the floor.
It is. The reflection's still there, but the statue's positions don't match. Wait. When you moved, the reflection turned in the direction of the light.
Perhaps you should cast Lumos.
Okay, let's start casting Lumos. Okay, it will be automatically slotted in, and I can now see.
Lumos.
Well done.
Now the reflection is turning towards me. It does follow the light.
Look out!
Potato!
Accio! Descendo! Levioso! Deposo!
Okay, this is actually bad timing, but let's try again. One, I need 2 more. Attack me. One more. No.
Expulso! Rotate Confringo! Depulso! Lumos! Stay close!
Professor! Professor Fig! Professor, where are you? This isn't good. Where am I supposed to go? What's happening? The wisps of magic seem to be leading me somewhere. Ah, that's where they're leading me. That glow again. Revelio. I suppose I'm on my own this time. Lumos. It seems I have no choice. I'm going to have to fight my way out of here.
Okay, hold Y during Vertigo to stun enemies with Stupefy. Counterattack. Okay.
Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
There you are. How did you... What is this place?
I don't know. But I found this floating above that basin.
That is no mere basin. That is a pensive. for viewing memories. I wonder... Follow my lead.
All is in place.
The portkey is well hidden.
Perhaps too well. I wonder if the path we've created...
May be impossible to follow. It will only be impossible for one who cannot see traces of ancient magic as I can.
Your ability to see what others cannot will not be enough, Percival. We are entrusting the one who embarks on this path with powerful secrets, with knowledge others will do anything to obtain.
Yes, and if we are correct, Charles, the witch or wizard who completes the trials will have proven themselves worthy of that knowledge, and the responsibility that accompanies it.
We've done all that we can.
That's what you're seeing. The glow that surrounded them.
Yes, sir.
Astonishing.
Can I see magic?
Traces of an ancient magic, to be precise. The magic that Miriam had always believed existed, but could never. Miriam, and perhaps George, died in pursuit of knowledge that has been dormant for centuries. And you, it seems, are the key to understanding why. We were...
It all looks rather different than it did a moment ago.
Someone's coming.
Who were they?
I don't know. But, sir, you shouldn't be in here.
I was right.
Ranrock.
Seems my reputation precedes me. I was beginning to think no one was ever going to visit Rackham's vault.
And why are you here?
No need for that. Just give me whatever it is you found here and we can let bygones be bygones.
How about no?
Sir, they have the key to the vault.
Choose your next words wisely.
I only meant that the instructions to Vault 12 were quite clear. Sir, I must insist. I was to grant access only to one with the key, and you didn't have it.
I have no patience for traitors. Now, where were we?
I'm not giving you anything.
Well, perhaps your young friend here will be more helpful.
Are you all right?
Fine, sir.
I've never seen so powerful a goblin. He seemed wholly unaffected by my magic.
Where are we?
It can't be. It seems those who set up the pensive, the locket, and the path to both wanted someone with your ability to end up here. Come. We have a sorting ceremony to get to. Oh, good. We haven't missed the sorting ceremony. I'm no expert, but that seems more appropriate. Now, I need to study this locket as soon as I can, but first I must contact the Ministry. They need to know what happened to George and be warned of Ranrock. For the moment, I ask that you keep all that's happened this evening between you and me.
Of course, sir.
Thank you. Ready for the sorting ceremony? Phineas, Nigellus, Black. Prepare yourself to meet the headmaster.
Fig, nice of you to join us. The sorting ceremony's over.
There were complications.
Complications?
It seems the goblin problem has...
Enough. Goblins. I've no time for rumors, Fig, and I'm rapidly losing whatever patience I had left. If you're lucky, we might still be able to get you sorted this evening.
I'll be in touch.
Professor Weasley, we've one more to be sorted.
Welcome. You're just in time. Have a seat.
Ah, yes. A bit older than the others, aren't you? You come here with preferences and preconceptions. Certain expectations.
I can't wait to explore.
I'm looking forward to exploring Hogwarts and the world beyond the castle and grounds.
Indeed. Much can be gleaned by having an adventurous spirit, but your professors have a great deal to teach you as well. Interesting. You've recently learned that you possess a rare ability. I detect a growing sense of ambition, an eagerness for power. Perhaps you belong in Slytherin.
Perhaps I do. Alright. Let's accept that. Slytherin. Of course we want to accept it. Cool. Accept.
You belong in Slytherin!
Oh, and one more thing. Due to the unfortunate injury on the pitch in last spring's final, this year's Quidditch season has been cancelled. Enough! It's not as though I've banned flying altogether, but don't tempt me. You are here to focus on your academic futures. I'm sure you all have plenty to do before classes begin tomorrow. I said, I'm sure you all have plenty to do before classes begin tomorrow.
Quite an entrance. It's lovely to meet you. I'm...
Professor Weasley, would you be so kind as to show our new student to their common room?
I shall see to it, sir. As I was saying, I'm Professor Weasley. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Professor.
As Deputy Headmistress, it is my distinct honor to show you to your common room. Right this way. It's quite uncommon for a student to begin as a fifth year. It may be a bit of a challenge, but one I'm sure you're up for.
I can be quite resourceful.
I suspected as much. This is the entrance to the Slytherin common room. In order to enter, one must simply speak the correct password. Aspiration.
Very well. Aspiration.
Well done. Now, go on in and get some sleep. You have a big day ahead of you tomorrow. I shall be back in the morning to collect you for your first class.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoy your first night at Hogwarts. Sleep well.
Looks like everyone's gone. Better head to the common room. I suppose some introductions are in order.
Professor Weasley said she'd help me with my switching spells after class.
Well, I suppose... No. Can I help you? Ah, you're the new fifth year. I'm Sebastian Sallow. Welcome to Slytherin.
Thank you.
Not everyone has a ministry escort to school.
He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride.
Still, impressive. Dreadful way to go, poor fellow. Glad you and Fig are all right.
It was exciting.
It was dreadful, certainly, but quite an experience nonetheless.
Interesting perspective. How did you and Fig manage to escape?
It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Didn't mean to press. You just get yourself settled. We can talk more later.
What were you reading?
What book were you reading?
A spell book I picked up. Has a few interesting things, but not exactly what I was looking for. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. But not every spell you may need can be found in our assigned textbooks.
What do you mean?
Are you saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones?
Seems I may have met a kindred spirit. That is a conversation for another time. It was good meeting you. Good luck today.
Well, thank you.
If you do that, you'll lose. Trust me.
A bit chaotic, but loads of fun.
Ugh, not going to move there, are you?
Here, watch this.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Checkmate.
Told you. They should have listened to me. Ah, I know who you are. You're the new Slytherin, the one who barged in with Professor Fig last night. Interesting tactic on your first day, taking all the attention away from the first years. I'm Imelda, by the way. Shame I wasn't with you in Fig. I could have lured that dragon away. My skills on a broom are legendary.
We had it handled.
We handled it. And I think you're underestimating the nature of a dragon. A broom would have been kindling.
Ha, not the way I fly. Perhaps one of these days I'll show you a thing or two about flying. I can teach you more than Kagawa ever could. Speaking of which, I'd like to get in some time on my broom before classes.
You seem to know a lot about wizard chess.
Are you a keen wizard chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match.
Not really. Much too sedate a pastime for me. Also, it's simply not that challenging. The moves are always so obvious. Why does no one else see it?
Do you fly a lot?
Do you have a lot of time to fly during school?
I make the time. There's nothing like swerving through the spires of the castle and around the Quidditch pitch to clear the mind.
Very well done.
Goodbye, Imelda.
Nice meeting you.
I was playing gobstones on the kitchen floor with my cousins. Not the same here in the cool.
I think I heard one.
Doubt mermaids find us that interesting. Ah, based on all the chatter when you entered the common room, I'm guessing you're the new 5th year. I'm Ominous. Ominous Scorn.
Nice to meet you, Ominous.
Well, you certainly had a memorable arrival.
I do like to make an entrance.
Well, if I'm going to make my mark here, I had to start right away.
Aha, you're definitely in the right house. Do let me know if I can be of any help as you navigate your first days here, though I doubt you'll need it.
Did you suspect that you would be in Slytherin?
Were you expecting to be sorted into Slytherin?
Most certainly. My family on my father's side are direct descendants of Salazar Slytherin, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts. Not something I'm especially proud of, mind you. He was obsessed with blood status, a pure-blood maniac. Unfortunately, most of his descendants do not fall far from that tree.
Do mermaids often appear outside of the common room?
Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid?
Yes, but I've never heard of a mermaid showing up outside our common room window. It is fun to play along, though. Been known to keep some first years on the lookout for hours.
It's meeting you.
Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure was all mine. Don't be a stranger.
Is the new 5th year Slytherin in here? Professor Weasley's waiting for you just by the stairs.
I'm glad I don't have to stay in the castle for the holidays.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a 5th year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a 5th year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
All right.
This way. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. Do keep up! Why don't you cast Revelio on that statue and see what details the field guide can provide?
Revelio.
The statue depicts Kelpie, a shape-shifting water demon. Cool. Just unlock field guide challenge. Your progress towards completing challenges appears here. We need 2 of these. Okay. This is your wizarding level. XP earned from challenges increases your level power. Okay. These are the challenges. We are 1% done with the pages. Each challenge has tiers. And we unlock special rewards. Cool. Alright, let's close this down.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle. Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall. And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak.
Any news about the dragon you've pitted on Fall?
That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become Aurors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain, and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins, and I shouldn't say more.
Exploring ruins? Well, I presume Professor Fig has his reasons for keeping the details to himself for now. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
She caught me off guard. I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Okay. Open the map. This is the map, and we can choose a quest. Either we learned Levioso, or we can do the other one. Asio. I think Levioso seems like more important one. Let's go with that one first.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Stupefy! Is that all you've got? Bombard!
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today, we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Okay.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master Pruitt so artfully helped me demonstrate earlier.
Levioso.
Good. Now, well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be...
Levioso, this can't be your first duel. Let's just say
I'm already students with this adept.
Levioso!
How's the view?
Stupefy.
There you go. Complicates things.
Protego, Levioso!
I do enjoy a lively duel. Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down. Watch your opponent's assigned to attack or defend yourself.
You're good. Our percept... Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Slytherin.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
There's a chest above me somewhere.
Nice
See
work.
it. Let's ask him.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? Felt more like I was dueling an expert. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've had my share of wand combat.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Sounds intriguing.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck, or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Okay, so we have side quest now. I don't see any.
Why the students always run when he's supposed to have the fun?
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
Get away from me!
I will not fast travel until I learn the layout of the castle.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a
There are
bit.
some impressive new
We
brooms
sometimes
and
have to
spin
remind him to finish the lesson.
Wish I could. Some of us don't necessarily want him to get back to the lesson.
There should be a chest again, but I guess it's higher.
What do you want? I cannot do this for all eternity.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Accio. That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me. I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree, So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will, but instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far... Splendid! Not to worry. Excellent control there. That's it! Stay
Stopped it!
Very good! Points to Slytherin. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Be sharp. That is how it's done.
Accio.
Okay, I get it now. I need to release the RT, not the square. Me. No. I'll try to push her ball off if we can.
Very good.
Let us see this.
Yes! Accio.
Brilliant.
Can I retry? Rolling out.
Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Be sharp.
Okay, it has 2 rounds. So maybe. She's got 30.
That is how it's done.
Accio.
Nice.
Excellent control there.
So I'm losing by 10.
Here we go. There we go. Nicely done. Let us see this. Phew.
Okay, as long as I get anything, I should be still winning, so that's good. That should be fine. So I should be 120. Oh yeah, I'm winning by 30, I think.
Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
I just defeated you. I'm holding my own.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
How big is Wagadu?
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
What does Wagadu look like?
Is Wagadu a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
Is magic the same at Wizardry?
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
That's incredible.
You can cast spells without a wand?
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
Thank you.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans, if you're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using
A word, if you would.
to be precise, Sebastian. You know it won't work on humans.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello, you wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
That's kind of you to say.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
Oh, side quest. Let's do that. Frost Wands, round 1. But that's the secret dueling club. Okay. We can do that. Actually, no. Let's wait until we get our special wand and then we can do it. So let's go to a Weasley after class.
Revelio.
Oh, that's a cat.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit during your brief detour near... what was it you said? Some ruins? I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Hasn't Professor Fig said anything?
Have you and Professor Fig not discussed my training?
He continues to be reticent about the details, mentioning only a few spells. Revelio, was it? And Lumos?
That's correct, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronner mentioned that.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
What more can you tell me about the potion shop?
Can you tell me more about the potions shop, Professor?
J. Pippin's Potions stocks a wide array of potions ingredients, although they rarely sell recipes. Professor Sharp asked that they have a couple of particular recipes on hand for you.
What's spellcraft?
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
So there really is an Ollivander's here?
There's an Ollivander's in Hogsmeade.
There is. Most people are familiar with the shop in Diagon Alley. We're fortunate to have someone like him nearby. Mr. Ollivander is a genuine craftsman and highly skilled wand maker. I would trust no one else to pair me with a wand.
I'm ready to go.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
Okay. Sebastian, I think.
I'd like to go with Sebastian.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Sallow is a capable young wizard, and he knows the area. He'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Speak to Professor Ronan to receive your your first assignment. Okay.
Ah, there you are.
Okay, let's talk to Professor.
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor.
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo. Fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
Is It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells outside of class in an effort to catch you up with your peers. A number of your professors have agreed to do so as well, but first, each shall ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today. See them through and then report back to me. We will have you casting Reparo in no time.
What is the purpose of the tasks?
Why must I first complete tasks to learn Reparo?
No lesson or lecture can compare to first-hand experience, and these tasks should provide you with just that. Such experience is invaluable when mastering any new bit of magic.
I'll complete the tasks.
I'll start on the task right away, Professor.
Revelio.
This is the right area. I wonder where the flying page is.
Revelio.
There it is. Or maybe Accio?
Accio.
Got it. A flying page must be around here somewhere. Brilliant.
I trust the preliminary tasks weren't too much trouble.
I completed the assignments, Professor.
Marvelous. You clearly know your way around basic charms. Let us give the old mending charm a try then, shall we? Remember to be deliberate in your enunciation and movements.
You didn't
I
lose
want
too much
to see
anyways.
some vigor. Now, wand at the ready.
Yes, sir.
Remember, your wand is a
Alright,
conduit
let's
of
repair. Let's learn Reparo. Yeah. Reparo. Okay. So I can repair broken stuff. Cool.
That's it. Very good. If you would like to practice mending something, have a go with that broken statue in the alcove by the water. It allegedly symbolized heartbreak. Perhaps a jilted lover thought it too accurate and lashed out.
Reparo.
Nicely done. Works like a charm, doesn't it?
Cool. Okay, let's select our next quest. Welcome to Hogsmeade. And we get magic throw. I'm like hour 30 minutes. This is literally my third class.
Yes, but if we had a round of golf throws in
Hello.
Fancy meeting you here.
Hello, Sebastian.
Ah, my new charge. I'm told you're in dire need of supplies, and I'm to accompany you into Hogsmeade for them. Is this your first foray into the village?
It is. I haven't left the castle since I arrived.
Well, I shall endeavour to be the very best of guides, then. Hogsmeade's a charming little place. Self-contained, too. We should be able to find you everything that you need. Shall we?
Let's go. Finally leaving the castle.
I was glad Professor Weasley asked me to join you today.
As am I. Thank you, by the way.
Of course. You're the only one who's ever bested me in a duel. The way I see it, I'd be wise to keep an eye on you.
See what Hogwarts looks like from Muggles.
Speaking of Weasley, she seems to have taken quite a shine to you.
Has she? That's nice to hear.
I'm still surprised that a professor would entrust me with anything, given my detention record.
Spend a lot of time in detention, do you?
Just enough to keep me well-rounded. Speaking of detention, this trip to Hogsmeade might have saved me from one.
Glad I could be of service.
Madam Scribner, the librarian, was on the hunt for me, as is often the case. Professor Weasley came to retrieve me, and I was able to convince old Scribner that I had somewhere to be.
So how did you manage to get on the librarian's bad side?
Well, I suspect it's a matter of differing opinions. She thinks I shouldn't be allowed in the restricted section, and I, on the other hand, am inclined to disagree. Oh,
it's not Ron Weasley, it's one of the family of Weasleys.
Together lacewing flies. They're pretty to look at. If you stew them long enough, they make a powerful potion ingredient.
Okay, let's keep going. This game looks so good. Actually, let's see one thing. I'm not usually a fan of depth of field, but maybe in this game it will be good. Let's have a look.
Forrest, look!
What's going on?
See for
sure.
yourself.
Why not?
Quite a sight, isn't it? You certainly don't see that every day.
Seems like it's working well here.
Seeing the hippogriffs?
Absolutely.
Likely already named them.
To the left is the Forbidden Forest. Out of bounds to all students.
Oh, hence the name.
Precisely. They think it's too dangerous. I think they need to have more confidence in our defensive abilities. Ah, you can see Hogsmeade just past those ruins up ahead.
Yeah, the depth of field definitely helps here.
Have you had much of a chance to explore the castle?
A little. It's positively enormous.
It is that. I've been there 5 years and barely scratched the surface. Loads to see, places to discover.
Oh? Any you'd like to share with the class?
Perhaps one day. I can't go around telling you all my secrets now, can I? You still haven't told me how you became so good at dueling.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you anyways.
I've always thought Thestrals pulling a carriage a bit grim. Though I suppose most people don't actually see them at all.
But you can see them.
Unfortunately. But you've seen quite a bit yourself firsthand too. Accio, most notably that dragon attack. Hopefully the rest of your year isn't as eventful.
Mr. Moon. He's the Hogwarts caretaker. Looks a bit worse for wear. Hello, Mr. Moon. Have you met our new 5th year?
Pleasure. You might want to turn back, Mr. Sallow. Turn and run.
Is everything all right, sir?
Oh, look right at me. Eyes big as
monsters.
What did, Mr. Moon?
Demi guys. Ugly and airy and terrifying. I shall be at the castle where it's safe. Good luck to both of you.
A demi-guise? I don't know what he's putting in his pumpkin juice, but he's obviously had too much of it. I've never seen Mr. Moon in such a state. Mr. Moon is quite the character. My sister Anne thinks he's lovely, but I'd say he could improve a bit as a caretaker.
Oh, is your sister in Slytherin too?
She is, or rather, she was. She's not well at the moment, but she'll be better soon and back at Hogwarts. Honestly, if one could bottle the magic of this place. I don't know if it's the shops or the people, but there's just something about Hogsmeade. We all flock to it like moths to a flame. So how would you like to do this? Weasley told me you had a list of things to get, a wand and some other bits.
Yes. Dittany seeds, some spellcrafts, and some potion recipes.
Perfect. Can't wait to see what you do with the new wand. And a short list gives you plenty of time to poke around the village. I just have to pop into a shop to find something for my sister. Let's meet up in the town circle when you're finished. Remember, have fun. It's Hogsmeade.
Okay, we can now travel around. So let's go to Ollivander's first, get our wand and see how it goes.
Merlin's blooming beard, not a him.
I'll be right with... Ah, it's you. Just a moment, please.
Hello, sir. I'm looking for...
For a new wand, yes. It's about time.
Yes, about time?
Well, you're our new fifth-year student, are you not? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you are. Gerbold Ollivander's the name. But of course, you'll have heard of the Ollivanders, I'm sure. Finest wand makers in the world. It's a pleasure to meet you, truly. Now, come with me. Let's find you the perfect wand, shall we? No, not you. Yes. Powerful core. 10.5 inches. You might do. Here, give this one a try. Well, go ahead, swish. How odd. Once more, come on, really swish it. Oh dear. Well, this isn't a good match at all, is it? We'll find you something, not to worry. No, not you. Perhaps. Yes. A rare wood, 13 3/4 inches, dragon heartstring. Let's give this one a try. Oh, right. Oh, goodness. Looks like it's back to the shelf for you. This is proving to be trickier than I had anticipated. How perplexing. Where are you? Perhaps you? There you are. Yes, I think you might be the one. Here. Take it.
Dark gray one. Okay, I don't like this one though. I'll change it.
How intriguing.
Curious indeed.
Give me a sec. Shouldn't I have gotten the one from the website?
How intriguing.
I had one from the website. Can't back out from this.
How intriguing.
I mean, it's a wand. You barely see it. Who the fuck cares which wand you choose? Alright, let's go with this one then.
What do you think? Extraordinary. Another wand, another beginning of a bright and magical future. Now, how did that feel?
Good. Different. I sensed a sort of surge of some kind.
A match. Your connection seemed particularly powerful. The right wand will learn from you, just as you learn from it.
I'm eager to try it out.
I would imagine so. A wand with a dragon heartstring core is capable of dazzling magic. And the bond between you and your wand should only grow stronger. Do not be surprised at your new wand's ability to perceive your intentions, particularly in a moment of need.
That sounds wonderful, Mr. Ollivander.
I'll let you get to it. Do come and see me again if ever I can be of further assistance.
Okay, let's quickly check if there's a link. It should be in the settings, maybe the link to the... Yeah, I am linked in. Oh, okay, it just looks different in the game. But other than that, it does work. Okay, cool. It's kind of stupid though. Okay, let's leave. Alright. We need to go to a Tomes shop as well. Here. And potions and magic neep.
An inquiring mind.
Ooh. I didn't expect that to happen.
Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the spellcrafts Professor Weasley ordered.
Matilda's student. I thought I might be seeing you soon. I am the proprietor here, Thomas Brown. I take it you've had a conjuring lesson then?
I'm afraid I haven't yet, sir.
Ah, but you will soon enough. It is magic at its purest, creating something out of nothing. Of course, it is not without complexity, but that is where my spellcrafts come in. Stay the course, and you could soon impress even Professor Weasley.
That's certainly something to aspire to, Mr. Brown. I look forward to that day.
And I, too, seeing it. Spellcrafts are incredibly useful for conjuring unique items like custom pieces of furniture or decoration. But I shall let Professor Weasley do the teaching. For now, let's get the spellcrafts you need. A potting table and a potion station, yes?
I believe so, sir.
Good. Nothing like being able to grow your own ingredients and brew what you want when you want. Let's have a look. Let's look at what we have, shall we?
Potting table. Aye. And small potion station.
If you're interested, feel free to take a look around at the rest of my inventory.
Can sell some items.
Welcome to J. Pippin's Potions.
Pardon me, sir.
Oh, thank goodness. When I heard the bell, I thought you were Miss Lawang. Not that she deigns to come here. Though I don't believe I've seen your face here before, either.
It's my first time in Hogsmeade, actually.
Is it really? Well, Parry Pippin at your service. And this is J. Pippin's Potions. Potions for all ailments. You'll have read it on the sign, of course, but Grandfather always made me say it in full. How may I help you today?
Professor Weasley sent me to collect some recipes. I'm new at Hogwarts.
You're the student she sent the owl about. I set your things aside immediately. I suspected if you're anything like I was at your age, you'd want your potion supplies. Is it not the most fascinating art, potion making? Rivals anything you can do with a wand, I've always said.
Are potions really that versatile?
They may not be as showy as spellwork, but make no mistake, they are just as powerful. They can heal, destroy, protect. You'll discover all of this soon enough. As it's your first time in, I should mention that it's not just potion recipes I sell. I also offer ready-made drafts for all manner of uses, and I unveil new ones from time to time. Pop in when you can so you don't miss out on anything. But for now, let's get you those recipes, shall we? What can I do for you today?
Let me buy these recipes. Airless potion and Wigan Wild.
Feel free to take a look at the rest of my inventory, or come back another time if you're in a rush today.
Pricey.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the seeds Professor Weasley arranged for me to collect.
Ah, the dittany for the new 5th year. I take it that's you, then. Merlin's beard. Starting Hogwarts as a 5th year. You must be positively reeling from it all.
Not at all. I'm choosing to see it all as one big adventure.
Well, bravo. Not everyone has the temperament to take things as they come. Name's Timothy Teasdale, by the way, and this is my shop, the Magic Neep. I keep the cart out here because I like a good chat. Can't very well be in the thick of things if I'm hidden away inside now, can I?
I suppose not.
In addition to seeds, I have plenty of plants. Grow everything myself. My speciality is potion ingredients. Even Pippin purchases from me. But what say we get you a packet of Dittany seeds?
We
Let me
shall.
guess. You're after something fresh. Do have a look around. Plenty of ingredients to pique your interest, I'd wager.
Well, that's everything. Better go and find Sebastian. I officially have all of my supplies.
Excellent.
Did you get what you needed for your sister?
I did. So I suppose the world is our oyster now. Let's see what else we can get up to.
Draw it away from the building! Away from the village!
Are we weakening him at all? Keep at it! We'll wear him down eventually. Fringo! Levioso! What was that? Confringo!
A taste of his own medicine.
Nicely done!
Ow. How do I heal?
Confringo! Stingo! Confringo! Potato! Lumos! Leviosa! Stupefringo! Stupefy! Leviosa! Confringo! Potato! Stupefy! That's right, you lumbering louts! Leviosa faltering! A few more hits to do the job! Sender! Stupefy! Descender! Confringo! Leviosa!
Ooh, ancient magic.
Goodness! A second troll! Did you two take on a fully grown troll by yourselves?
I suppose so. It's all a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Merlin's beard. Are you all right?
We are, and we were glad to help.
I'd say help is a bit of an understatement. Nerve like that. The makings of an aura, if you ask me. If you are unharmed, perhaps the two of you wouldn't mind helping me put a few things back to where they were.
Of course, officer.
Singer. Officer Singer. And thank you, again.
Reparo.
Hello there. A moment if you would.
I'll go and see what he wants.
One less thing for Officer Singer to worry about.
Reparo.
Lucky they didn't do more damage.
Mr. Hill was just singing your praises.
Hello, sir. I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to introduce myself, Augustus Hill, clothier extraordinaire. I should like to thank you for your remarkable bravery in fighting those trolls, and not to mention your help restoring Hogsmeade to its rightful state.
I was happy to help.
Frankly, you deserve an Order of Merlin. But I can offer you something much more useful. I own Gladrag's wizardware, and among my inventory are some unique items that afford certain protections, as it were. Life-saving protections. And as I suspect this won't be your last dangerous encounter, I'd like to give you one such set of robes, in thanks for what you did today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. That's very generous of you.
It's the least I can do. Now, let's try this on for size, shall we? Plenty for your perusal today. Take your time.
Guess we're taking these then. Okay. Well, we have the neckwear. First we need to equip this. There's some legendary gear as well.
I'd say we've earned a butterbeer or two, wouldn't you? Might help me forget that I was almost pulverized by a troll.
I'd say that I agree with you.
Perfect. The 3 broomsticks is just this way.
Yeah, let's see if we can equip the rest as well. And gear. That's what we want. So face wear. Can I equip these but just not show them? I don't want to be seeing these. How do I make them hidden? Like that. Or I can go for any of these. Yeah, not yet. So that's fine. Any headwear. We do have this, but it doesn't give me any stats. Same with the hands. Maybe a neckwear. I'm equipping that, sure. We can have different handles. And mounts and the broom. Perfect. Also, we unlocked a new challenge, right? So let me do that. Claim the rewards. We need more of these pages, and then we unlock different ones. With quests, we get legendary gloves. It's just appearance, okay. Inventory. These are the flowers, cool. As for collections, it's just these, alright, we don't care about that.
I sell even more battle-worthy items. Should you be inclined, you're most welcome to peruse my shop at your leisure.
Assuming it isn't utter bedlam in there, you might even meet Sirona, the owner. She's a good one to know.
You said you could get to the child when they came to Hogsmeade. That all you needed was a distraction. I gave you a distraction.
I just watched a student take down your distraction. Who's this child? What are you not telling me?
All you need to know is that if you cannot get to the child, then you have no value to me.
Let's go. Did they see us?
I don't think so.
What was that goblin doing with Victor Rookwood?
Ranrock is working with Rookwood.
The goblin from the Daily Prophet. I knew I'd seen him somewhere. Quickly, let's get inside the 3 broomsticks.
It's a treat to see you, Lodgok. I shall let you know if I hear anything.
Thank you, Sirona.
You be well. Now, what can I... Oh, there's a face I haven't seen before.
It's my first time here.
Welcome. Butterbeer's on me. Heard about the attack. I shall be looking in on the other shopkeepers and residents shortly. Glad to see you two escaped injury.
Thanks to this one. Single-handedly took down a troll.
Is that right? Well done.
Thanks for this.
My pleasure. I will say, trolls in Hogsmeade. That's never happened before. Something's not right. The only brutes we usually have to deal with are... How timely.
Was that Lodgok I saw leaving just now? Your clientele's not what it used to be, Serona.
Not to worry, Victor. Once the two of you leave, the caliber of my clientele will greatly improve. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Theophilus.
Come now. No need for theatrics. I'm only here for this one anyway.
My friend is enjoying a well-earned butterbeer.
Only want a quick word.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, my friend is busy.
One would think you all had enough bloodshed for one day. Come, Theophilus. The Three Broomsticks isn't what it used to be. Let's take our galleons elsewhere. Can't drink butterbeer forever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Seems you've made an unfortunate enemy. Watch your back. Rookwood and Harlow are worse than any troll you might encounter.
Trolls? Ranrock and Rookwood? What are you not telling me?
I promised to tell you everything, but it's perhaps best I do that later.
And on that note, I think we should head back to the castle. I'm certainly glad Serona was there. Told you she was one of the good ones.
I can see that. She didn't seem at all intimidated by Rookwood and Harlow.
I think you'll need to tell me why Victor Rookwood has you in his sights. But we can talk later. For the moment, we should return to the castle. Professor Weasley's certain to hear about the troll attack soon if she hasn't already. Don't want to risk another detention for getting back after hours.
Alright. You must return to your common room for the night. Access the map. Hogwarts map. And now we need to go to the common room. Where is that? Yeah. Here, common room. Fast travel. Alright, what are we supposed to do now? Receive a post. Professor Fig. Come and see me. I've discovered something in the locket we found at the Gringotts. Alright. Let's go.
Come and see me. I've discovered something in the locket we found at Gringotts.
Well, looks like I don't have to read the mails. They will be voiced. That's nice.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Hello, Mother.
Did I go the wrong way? Let's enable the GPS. didn't go the wrong way. I'm supposed to go here. Professor Fake, as my schedule wasn't congested enough, the messenger charged me with arranging the rather inconvenient arrival of a new student at Hogwarts. 5th year, if you can believe it. Professor Weasley insists that they will need an escort and a mentor to help them acclimatize before the term begins. I've assigned a task to you. Please see Professor Weasley for details. Professor Phineas Nigelius Black, Headmaster. Alright, let's wait for him. He should show up soon. There he is. Hello, Professor Fig.
Professor, I'm glad to see you.
And I you. Thank Merlin you're in one piece. I heard about the attack. Trolls in Hogsmeade?
Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow like the dragon collar.
Goblin silver. Ranrock used it to control the dragon. But how? And why send trolls to...
They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood.
Ranrock was in Hogsmeade? With Rookwood?
The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me. And he would have, had Sirona and the patrons at the Three Broomsticks not intervened.
This is grave news indeed. If Ranrock's goblins and dark wizards are after you, they want what we found in that vault.
Sir, about the goblins at Gringotts.
Speaking of the vault, do you think that Ranrock is working with any of the goblins at Gringotts?
I do not. Gringotts goblins aren't typically the friendliest of beings, but they have a great deal of integrity. No, I dare say after what happened to that poor banker, the goblins at Gringotts are no followers of Ranrock.
Ranrock and Rookwood want the locket.
They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it.
Yes, yes. I discovered an inscription. When I read it aloud, this map appeared. Clever enchantment. It's a map of Hogwarts, to be sure, but I do not know where it leads.
It leads to the library. The restricted section, to be precise, and a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map.
I suspected you would see something.
Shall we go?
I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm eager to discover what we may find there as well. But if our experience at Gringotts, let alone what happened to Miriam, taught me anything, it's that the path we're on is terribly dangerous.
So?
I'd like you to work with Professor Hecat a bit before we continue.
But sir, how dangerous could the library be? Perhaps we're only after a book.
Perhaps we are only after a book, but we should be prepared for anything. Once you've honed your defensive magic further, come and see me. I'll let Professor Hecat know to expect you.
Sure. She's below me. Alright. Also wanted to do the side quest. So let's do one more main mission and then we can focus on the side quest a bit. Alright, let's go to Professor Hecat. And after that we can do the side mission. I'm getting quite nice frame rate. A few frame drops, but nothing too crazy. 190, 230. Alright, let's learn something new. Wait, there's a paper. Let's get it.
Revelio.
I believe we have some matters to discuss.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor.
Good. Professor Fig indicated a certain urgency to you completing your defensive magic assignments. As such, you are to learn Incendio, the fire-making spell, handy for lighting torches, burning away spider webs, and, when necessary, defending against those who would wish to do us harm.
Sounds versatile.
Quite. But before we get started, I'd like you to complete a few tasks. You may be surprised by some of them. Astonishing how much students don't think their professors know. When you're finished, come and see me. Then we shall begin working on Incendio.
That's nice.
You know where to find me once you've
I
finished.
should have put the drops in the title. That's alright. Let's learn. I need to win 2 rounds of crossed wands,
Seems
and
crossed
then
wands
I
isn't
can
as secret as it's believed to be.
go back. Alright, let's do this.
Kind soul, help me.
Wait, what's this quest? Oh, this is a different side quest. Okay, let's start this one as well.
Are you alright?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry the other students weren't more friendly.
That's kind of you. I suppose there are a few decent souls here. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
Gobstones? Interesting.
Gobstones? Sounds like a fun challenge.
That's what I tried to tell everyone. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Sounds as if they'd overreacted.
Rather an overreaction on their part.
I'll say. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented 5th year to help me.
Any ideas how to reach them?
Do you have any suggestions on how to get your gobstones down from their hiding spots?
If I knew that, I'd get them myself. Whoever hid my gobstones that high got up there somehow.
You don't have any friends?
Haven't you any friends at school?
Not really. Natty said hello once, but not a word since.
Okay, I can make any promises.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
Cool. So I need to find these 6 gobstones. I can do that, I guess. Yeah, why not? At least some of them shouldn't be too hard.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
Okay.
Well, that's one of Zenobia's gobstones. I hardly see what all the fuss is about.
There should be 6 of them. Shouldn't be too difficult to finish.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
Maybe it's lower.
Accio.
Alright. Let's get the money from here at least. Got it.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I
Accio!
3. 3 to go.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school to enable goldstones. I don't see it nowhere. Maybe it's lower? Okay, so this is a puzzle. We'll focus on that later. Right now, focusing on those 6 stones. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Revelio.
When mentor and student collide, a path must be chosen.
Doesn't even look like it's here. It must be higher then.
Accio.
Follow the minimap, maybe? Oh, it's even higher. That's why I couldn't find it.
I'd better keep an eye on high places like the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
What are you up to now?
Revelio.
Not exactly what I wanted, but that's fine. That's the one I wanted.
That's the last of Zenobia's gobstones. I should go and see her.
Herbology award. Okay. Stealing awards randomly.
Professor Weasley said
Alright, let's go back. But damn, getting 300 FPS on this game is crazy. Gotta love the frame generation. Oh, come on, you cannot do suicide jumps. Unfortunate.
I hope you've had more luck than I did tracking down my gobstones.
Hello, Zenobia. I found all your gobstones.
Really? I didn't think it was possible. However did you do it?
Common sense and basic magic.
Well, may I have my gobstones back?
No, I think I'll keep them. Sure, I'll give it to her. Why not?
Of course. They are yours after all.
Oh, how wonderful. I shall dedicate all of my future victories to you. Speaking of which, now that I have all my gobstones back, I wonder if anyone in the common room would be up for a game.
Wonderful idea.
I'm sure they'd be willing to play after the trouble spent getting them back. It's a fine idea.
Isn't it? Oh, we'll have so much fun together, laughing as all the losers get sprayed, which won't include me. Very well, off I go. Wish me luck.
Good luck to you. Alright. Let's check the next quest. This one.
Revelio.
This way.
Glad you could make it. Lucan's just over there.
Can I help you?
Sebastian told me to see you about a club.
If Sebastian vouches for you, that's all I need to know. I coordinate duels for crossed wands. A dueling club of sorts. It's invitation only, so you must have really impressed Sebastian.
I did take him down a peg.
I seem to have a knack for dueling.
Then you've come to the right place.
How does cross wands work exactly?
You show up, I match you with other duelists, and whoever is still standing in the end wins. It's our way of determining the school's greatest duelist once and for all. And to liven things up, the winner is awarded a prize. Interested?
I'll join your club.
Of course. Dueling's an entertaining pastime.
I agree. Besides, in crossed ones, you could duel with a partner if you like. Your first time I'll pair you with Sebastian. Next time, you'll need to bring a partner along, or duel alone. So, care to step into the ring?
I'm ready.
Get me in the ring.
Spectacular! Let the fireworks begin!
His voice doesn't match his character at all.
We'll make you regret signing up.
Alright. Okay, target lock and levitation spell, of course.
There goes my way. Lumos. Levioso.
Find the one! Expulso!
Stupid one. Stupid one.
Is that all you've got?
Levioso.
Cinder!
Act like a winner!
Come on, Confringo!
Some big hits that round.
Nice work. Sebastian wasn't wrong about you. There's strong competition ahead, but keep this up and you could be the next school champion.
Brilliant. Count me in.
I shall. In fact, the second duel is ready when you are. And as a fully initiated member, you now have access to the official Crossed Wands training dummy. Very good way to master spell combinations. Come and see me, and I'll set it up. Again, congratulations on your first Crossed Wands victory. Well fought. Hope to see you back here again.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice.
I
Ready to
wanna
have a
use
try
it.
now?
Perhaps later.
Actually, I might come back later.
I wanna
Suit
fight.
yourself. I'll be around when
I
you're
don't
ready.
want the training. Okay, maybe now I can. Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
Ready for another round.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Are you dueling with a partner?
No.
I'll be dueling solo.
Then let's get to it.
It's gonna be 1v2? Yeah, it is a 1v2. Okay, cool. That's fine. 1v3.
Apologies in advance.
Alright. So I need to Axio to break through powerful shields.
Accio! Protego! Lumos!
Okay. Ow.
Act like a winner.
There's so many of them. Fuck.
Protego! Stupid one! There goes my way. Levioso!
Levioso.
Stupid one! Come on! Protego! Stupid one! Levioso!
Don't shy away now.
Accio!
Is that all you've got?
Stupid one!
Find the one.
Accio!
Maybe it's better to go with a partner so they can tank half of
Bravo.
the shots.
I gave it my all.
You did indeed. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Okay, I need to do practice.
Hello, Lucan. I'm ready for practice.
Glad you're keeping at it. Ready to have a try now?
Sure.
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Accio and 4 attacks.
Nicely done.
Levioso, 4 attacks.
Levioso.
Good one.
Levioso. Accio.
That's it. I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Assignment's all finished.
I cannot do this for all eternity.
Revelio.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was able to accommodate you and that you found success in your endeavors.
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio.
Should be, Professor.
Yes. I'm sorry to say, I visited enough careless colleagues at St. Mungo's to assure you that fire is a fickle servant. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please maintain focus. I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame. Let us begin. And remember, focus on the proper wand movement.
All right.
Concentrate and keep your wand steady.
Incendio! I'll have to spell. Have to swap the spell. I don't think I need Lumos that much, so I'm gonna put this spell up. Even, yeah, it's fine, I guess, for now.
Incendio.
Oh, that's cooldown, okay.
Getting it. Keep at it. And do try not to incinerate yourself.
Another side quest here. Give it my list. That's the annoying part, which I'm not a fan of. The fact that it doesn't add those side quests immediately to you. Need to look for them everywhere.
If someone gets struck by
Spare a moment? I could use your help.
You wanted to speak with me?
I did. Hello, I'm Duncan Hobhouse. Pleasure to meet you. I've heard all about you, of course, confronting trolls and dragons.
Why, thank you.
That's nice to hear. I have had my share of adventure. I hope my reputation's warranted.
I'm going to presume your reputation is in fact warranted, in which case, you are precisely the person I need. You see, we were learning to repel boggarts in Professor Hecat's class, and, well, mine unfortunately took the shape of a puffskein.
They can be scary.
Ugh, well, they seem innocent, but their tongues can be most disturbing.
Exactly. I wish more of our fellow students agreed with you. Regardless of how reasonable I believe my fear of puffskeins to be, I'm beginning to get a reputation as a coward. Some have even taken to calling me Puffskeen Dunkeen.
That's unkind.
I'm sorry to hear that. Words can be cruel.
Thank you. Poppy keeps offering to help me in overcoming my fear, but I'm too afraid to take her up on it. Anyway, to make matters worse, I stupidly blurted out that I must be braver than people think, since I have been in the hidden herbology corridor.
The hidden herbology corridor?
Yes. Rumor has it that the herbology professor before Professor Garlic kept dangerous plants there. It's supposedly so overrun now that no one dares enter it anymore. I was hoping you could go there and bring back evidence that I could use to show that, well, I'd gone in. Say a bit of an exceptionally dangerous plant of some kind.
What should I expect?
What sort of plants should I expect in the hidden herbology corridor?
I haven't a clue. But have you seen the kinds of plants Professor Garlic grows? If the previous professor was anything like her, I'd imagine they're not exactly harmless.
I'll see what I can do.
Very well. If I'm in the area, perhaps I shall take a look.
Grand. I'd very much appreciate it. Come and find me if you get the proof. I shall be forever in your debt.
Hidden herbology corridor. Sounds intriguing.
Accio!
Ugh, what am I missing?
So many side quests.
Fear is weakness. I never feel fear.
My brothers and I prefer pumpkins with cigars.
Accio!
Incendio!
These dry vines are one spark away from becoming kindling. This must be the entrance to the hidden herbology corridor. Devil's Snare seems to thrive in darkness. Perhaps it doesn't care for light. Incendio. Seems the devil's soul was protecting a chest of some kind. Incendio! Incendio! I imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacular would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery. Incendio!
Ooh, nice.
I still can't manage to transfigure.
I never thought I'd actually enjoy it.
Okay, let's equip that hat I just got. Wait, we have a wand as well, apparently. No, thank you. And a new neckwear. Sure.
Have you found anything to, prove my bravery yet?
Hello, Duncan. I have the proof you wanted.
That's one leaf. Must have been a giant venomous tentacula. It's even more than I expected. I knew you were the one to ask. I appreciate you getting it for me.
Happy to help. Take it.
Of course. I hope this helps you prove yourself.
This is sure to put an end to Puffskein Dunkin for good when I show everyone in the common room tonight. This'll show Everett how ridiculous that nickname was. Thank you again, and have a good day. I know I will. Thank you for all of your help. No more Puffskein Dunkin for me.
Do I need to find them first? Okay, that's fine. Can work with that.
Ah, there you are. Revelio.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Heckard.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig, I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But, Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Okay, I see that gem in the background. I kind of want it. Can I steal it? Doesn't look that way.
Revelio. Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea.
Oi, can you help me?
Hello? Were you calling me?
I was, yes. Thought you might be interested in joining me for a bit of an adventure. Following a treasure map, to be precise. Slight respite from battling the odd troll, I should think. Asked Poppy if she'd be interested as well, but couldn't drag her away from her puff skein. I found 2 maps lying about, both leading to locations around Hogwarts. Care to have a look at one?
Sounds intriguing.
Following a Hogwarts treasure map. Count me in.
Wonderful. Hogwarts fascinates me. You can keep whatever treasure lies at the end of your map. I'll be satisfied just knowing where it leads.
Any idea where to start?
Where do you suggest I search first?
Based on a cursory review of your map, I'd suggest somewhere near Hecat's classroom.
Perhaps I'll have a look.
Very well. I shall take a look if I can find the time.
Fair enough. Meet me back here if you find anything.
Okay, so... Go up the stairs behind that guy. You will be outside. Near a dragon, you go to the door. And on the painting, you steal something. Okay.
Watch out, it's the Troll Slayer of Hogsmeade.
Ah, a rhinoceros skeleton. I'm on the right track.
How do I open the map again? Maybe in the quests. Okay, so if I'm looking at the head, it's the first staircase. Looks like staircase up. It's definitely not staircase up, it's this one. Oh, it's pointing me in the right direction already. Okay, then I go through this door.
Fountain. I'm getting.
The Daedalian keys are back. Aren't they brilliant?
And now I should find that painting and feel that on top of it.
The stairwell looks promising.
Off.
The other girls and I were up all night.
This looks like the portrait from the map. And where's the treasure? There was a doorway hidden within the portrait. I wonder what came of Arthur's search.
Just a collection.
I can't help it if I've never encountered.
Okay, let's return to Arthur. But first, let me talk to Nelly.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nelly, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Alright, I'll look into it.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them. I hope you follow a few keys at least. If you manage to open a cabinet, I'd love to know what you find.
Is it possible to come? And then the werewolves join the goblins.
Goblins, werewolves.
A Daedalian key. I wonder where it might lead me.
I lost it.
Off on another adventure, are we?
There's the cabinet. How do I get this key in there?
Okay. Okay, I have to wait. Can I go in?
Excellent. An old coin. Perhaps Nelly knows what it means.
Accio. Why does the ministry require adaptation?
Duncan owes his reputation to you.
Were you able to follow one of the Daedalian keys?
Hello, Nellie. I managed to get a Daedalian key into its lock.
Brilliant! What did you find in the cabinet?
A curious token of some sort.
Looks like some sort of house token. I bet it unlocks house chests. I call them house chests. I've seen the one in Gryffindor and heard they're also in the other common rooms as well. Keep an eye out. I do hope you continue on. For so much effort, the prize must be something grand.
I should see this through and find the Slytherin house chest.
Have you ever noticed in potions?
Ah, I'm already here, might as well talk to him.
There's something in there, I just know it.
Hello, I don't believe we've met.
Oh, hello, I'm Lenora. Pardon me if I seem a little distracted at the moment. Everyone thinks I'm utterly balmy. Samantha thinks I'm potty. But it's this painting. I never noticed it before. If I know Hogwarts, and I do, an empty frame doesn't appear for no reason. There's something more to this.
Perhaps I'll have a look.
If I have the time, I may look. Could be intriguing.
I've been racking my brains long enough. I hope you'll have better luck than I have. Do come and find me if you stumble on something illuminating that solves the mystery.
Illuminating? You mean Lumos? I just use it without assigning it? No.
Lumos. That spot must be a clue. I should look around in case it's nearby.
Oh, under the staircase, next to the statue.
This looks like the location from the painting. Let's get you back to your frame, little moth.
Okay.
Ha! I knew there was a connection. I should tell Lenora that I solved the puzzle of that empty frame. Lenora, I solved the mystery of that painting.
You did? How?
I follow the clues.
I found the location depicted in the painting, and then I cast Lumos to guide a moth back to the frame.
All very logical, I suppose. Pity I was so close to solving it. You have a knack for solving riddles. Natty's good at that too. So is Amit, although he does tend to over-explain. Well, I'm glad someone figured it out. The moth! I should have seen that.
This must be my house chest. I just need to insert the token. Seems I'll need to find more house tokens if I'm to open this. Quite a few by the look of it.
16. Alright. Let's go back to Arthur. Did I just hear a moth? No.
Yes.
Okay, that's the second one. So we need 16 of them.
Revelio.
I can appreciate Hogsmeade.
Made any progress with your treasure map?
Hello, Arthur. Thought you might like to know that my map led to a doorway hidden within a portrait.
Oh, how clever! Mine led to the boathouse. Barely found the treasure before I saw the headmaster coming. He shooed me out of there, but not before I got a few galleons richer. What did you find?
I found what I believe is an authentic historian's uniform.
Oh, that's lucky. Seems as though we both had success. Glad I enlisted you to join me. Well, on to the next Hogwarts mystery. Wonder if a quick rummage round Weasley's office might yield anything interesting.
On a second.
Revelio.
Utter triumph.
Well, Madam Kagawa said
Oh, okay, so you need... This is the 1 question mark, this is the 2 question marks. So, unicorn +4. So this should be 2. I don't know what 2 means. Zero, 3, and 2 should make 5. But what is a 3? Maybe it's based on number of legs? I'm not sure yet. Okay, I'm not gonna waste time on this yet. And solve those later. Let's go for secrets.
Anyone been into Albi's shop lately?
Sebastian, there you are.
There you are. You promised me an explanation for what happened in the Three Broomsticks. Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
I'm not entirely certain what it's to do with Ranrock.
Seems he's working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts.
Ranrock? And when were you at Gringotts?
Professor Fig and I ended up there after the dragon attack. It's quite the tale. Fig had this port key.
A port key? To Gringotts?
I'm not sure I follow.
I barely follow myself, and I was there. Anyway, we ended up in an ancient vault where we found a map. That map leads to the restricted section.
You can't be serious.
Deadly serious. Professor Fig has insisted that I not tell a soul about any of this. I've probably said too much.
Understood. Your secret's safe with me. Whatever it is.
Thank you, Sebastian. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
What if we are caught?
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt. But a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves, the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
What about the librarian?
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madame Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books, so do all that you can to avoid her. She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
See you tonight.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try.
Okay, so I can avoid being detected. Sure.
Silent as a grave.
They will sense me. If... Alright, if they see me, they will sense me.
The librarian's still here. Quick, behind the bookcase.
Damn. You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
I said usually, but it'll still be all right. Do you see her desk behind me? The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
Why do we need a key?
Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
Alohomora. That's how I always used to get in. But the librarian twigged that I knew the spell and cast an anti-Alohomora charm on the lock. So now it's just this key. But don't worry. I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
down there? Is that you, Peeves?
The key. Here it is.
Too late.
That wasn't so difficult after all. How to find that book.
Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say.
Okay. I can lure people to look the other way.
Ghost, don't let her see you. Should be in the clear now. No need for us to be skulking about.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin sister, Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think we'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne?
No! We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after. Which is what, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic. Secrets of the darkest arts. I'm impressed.
Who have we here? Sebastian Solo and his new little friend. Out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty. You'll get caughty.
Peeves, don't
I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Don't get into trouble.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where's that damned poltergeist got to?
I know just the spell to repair this armor.
Reparo.
Of course, traces of ancient magic. There must be more to this room. That's it! Where might this lead?
Reparo. Oh. Oh.
Ah, I need to wake up that rune over there. Not surprising. Cards at the ready.
Levioso. Accio.
Okay. So 10 plus hit combos will generate magic perhaps. And then I can kill them easily, which is what I did.
Potato. Stupid. Stupid one. Levioso.
Levioso. Reparo. This must be the way forward, but to where?
Levioso.
Alright, the game crashed on me, but what I've noticed is this is being built. And now we can get this chest at least, so I'm not even mad.
This must be the way forward, but to where?
Alright, hit this. hit this.
Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me. It is a book after all.
You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald, Professor Rackham.
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood, Professor Bakar.
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganach, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we've never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Well, that seems like a great spot to end it at.
Sebastian.
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief. Clearly detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster.
But that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
Okay. Well, before we talk to him, let's do all the equipment and stuff. We did get quite a bit of it, so first of all, and I don't like the color. I think I'm just gonna get the black hands, so let me just change the appearance to the black one. I do have these as well, the legendary gloves. But let's go with the black ones. Cool. New face wear, apparently it's better. Alright, let it get removed. Sure. We have new cloak and robes. Does it give you anything? No, but you can equip traits onto it somehow later on. I'll go with this one for now. Obviously change it back to the one we had. Oh, I do like this one. But that has to wait. I don't want to use it. I'll start using the dark arts once we actually unlock the dark arts. And yeah, that's pretty much that. 4% done with challenges. Like, oh. Well, I would like to thank you all for watching. Tomorrow we can continue with this. And yeah, basically we have 4 days. I hope I can do as much as I can in those. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care. Bye.